Right, quick little update. We've got some hydraulic cam followers. Now, I'll just do a little... These are pretty much, this is what the 16 rounds, these are hydraulic cam followers, tapex, etc. Now, these have got the ridge around the outside, there's a tiny little pinprick hole in it, and there's a little piston inside. That piston, there's a spring on the back of it. So how these work is, as this is now, this is open in a way, and oil pressure, which means oil pressure, can go through that pinprick hole, via the head through the hole, and fill up the orifice behind this piston. And then when it gets compressed, when the cam lobe is on it and it's pushing it down, pushing this down onto the top of the valve itself, as it moves, that then becomes closed, so no more oil can get in, and it's just left with the oil that's inside the orifice, which is that becomes your shock absorber to take up any slack in the gaps and clearances, as it would have been on the old tappets where you adjust them to valve clearances. This does it by using pretty much a cushion of oil that sits inside them. So just getting these installed now, and that's another thing ticked off. They do come, if you get a decent set, these are INA, they're not cheap, but I've got these a bit of a bargain. eBay put in best offers, and I offered 30 quid straight off. Thought it'd be a bit cheeky, and he went nope. So I sent another offer, said nope, and then finally got them down to 46 quid, which was a pretty bargain really. Definitely for INA ones. So that's those in. They come oil, pre-lubed in oil, nice little tubs and all that with oil in there. So all I've done is just pour the oil around the area, and I've put a bit of the assembly lubes I've been using, the Lucas stuff, pretty good. Just put that around the outside just so we've got enough lube in there to make sure when the engine turns over there's no metal to metal contact. So that's the front set done, so I'll just lay that cam back on there, and then I'll start doing the rear set. So back with it. So going on from what last said with the cams, I went against the option of changing all the bolts. All I've done with the snap one is exchanged it for the one for distributor housing, because on the distributor housing you've got those two which are cams, these are sort of secondary ones. So that's an M7 bolt, and I've swapped them over. I also took all the studs out, measured them for their length, to make sure none of them are stretched, and they weren't, so put them all back in there, nipped them down, torqued them up, so they're all good. So that is all the chain cams all installed. We've also got, been quite busy, got a few bits. ISV valve has been refurbished, cleaned up, put back on. We've also got coolant pipes on. They're the original ones that are good. Breather pipe, dipstick tube. I've got some spring clips coming for the hoses from Type 19. So I'll show you those when you get them. We've got metal port coolant pipe, it's been cleaned, put on. High and low oil pressure sensors, that's been cleaned up, and that's the fifth injector or warm injector. That's been tested as far as I can with air pressure really. We've got, can't really see, but we've got temperature sensors in. I don't know if you can see better around this way. Bit more, so we've got, that rear one is oil temperature. We've got the larger one that's, I need to get a copper wash for it, install that. And the other two are basic coolant ones. So they're all in. So we're looking really good. The exhaust manifold, I've got to stick another bit of paint on that. Then that can go on with the gaskets once they turn up. Make a gasket for that. And then the rocker cover can go on with the gasket. Inlet manifold can go on. So quite a lot's going to come together in the next week or so. Not been up to too much really. CV joints on the drive shafts, so they're all ready to go in. I want to get them installed as soon as I can, because shouldn't really be moving a car around with no CV joints there with the bearings, because the CV joint is sort of what holds the bearing together. So yeah, there's not much else to update on really. We're coming along pretty quick. I've got a clutch to get, which I'm going to be going for the Black Diamond. What clutch was it? Black Diamond clutch, about 250 quid. That can go in there. I need to get the flywheel lightened. So once I've got the flywheel and the clutch and the engine mounts, and I've welded and made the new downpipe for it, once I've got those, I'm in a position to actually bolt the engine in. So hopefully early new year, January maybe, I can get that motor bolted in, which would be a big improvement. Yeah, I need to get a vernier pulley once that's on, timing belt on, alternator as well once I get older one. That's one thing I did do when I was doing the restoration is, I'll bin that, I can buy another one. I'll bin that, I can buy another one. Alternator, I thought I'd chuck in a bin, it's easier to buy a new one. A new Bosch one is nearly 200 odd quid, so yeah. If you're going to do this kind of stuff, just keep everything, unless it is properly knackered, which obviously, yeah, bin it, but looking good, but coming together and it's looking really smart. So I'll need to stick the rock cover back on, give the exhaust manifold a rub down, and then just got some high coat, high temperature paint, mop on that. Once that's done, I can get the gaskets trimmed up, make sure they're all good, bolt that on, bolt the heat shield back on for the exhaust. Distributor is waiting for a Hall sensor. I've changed the oil seal that's inside it. There's an oil seal that sits inside it. I don't think I'll put it back together yet. Well, there's an oil seal that sits inside it. It's about £3 to change. But my Hall sensor, or pickup sensor that sits inside, the wiring was a bit tatty on it, which is a pain because it was a genuine Bosch one. And again, a genuine part of those is quite expensive. You can get cheap ones for 15-20 quid, but ignition is pretty important. So I might have to bite the bullet and either get a used one that's pretty good, or try and get a genuine Bosch one from somewhere that's not going to break the bank. So I'll get on with sticking some paint on those.